Today, Senate Republicans hitting the road. They didn't go that far, just 16 blocks to the White House. Meeting with the president. Senator John Barrasso was in the room. He joins us. Nice to see you, Senator.
Thanks for having me.
I imagine it was quite cordial in the room?
It was. I thought it was positive. I thought it was productive. And, Greta, we should have done this 2 weeks ago.
All right. You asked him what?
Well, I asked him specifically about the individual mandate. I told him that I want to delay it. Actually, I'd like to delay it permanently. But so many people are having trouble with this website, the exchanges, trying to get on to shop around for insurance, that yet the president's going to fine all of them if they don't have insurance under his mandate by January 1st.
Did he say you have a good idea on that, Senator Barrasso?
Well, he said no one was madder than he was about the fact that the websites weren't ready to go.
How about the mandate? When you said he wanted to delay the mandate, did he say that's a great idea?
He said, you know, the mandate is bad politics, but it's necessary for all these young, healthy people to pay more for insurance so that other people get covered with insurance. So he gets the math, but he gets how unpopular it is, and he's forcing it through.
So why is that productive if he says, you say he's forcing it through and you say it's a bad idea? How's that productive?
Well, I said, then what about if they're still having these troubles with the website come November, come December? At what point do you do the same thing you did with the employer's mandate and say individuals don't have to live by that as well? You know, if it's good for the bosses, it ought to be good for the workers.
All right, the medical device tax, was that discussed?
It was. Susan Collins has a proposal, which is a comprehensive proposal, because, Greta, I want to get the government open again. I want to get America back to work. I don't think any of us are well served by a government shutdown, and that's just one of a number of things being proposed.
Did he seem interested in lifting that tax, a medical device tax?
Well, I think he understood that it was used not as a basis and foundation of the health care law. It was one of the ways to pay for his health care law. So he wants to find other ways to generate revenue, to bring money in to pay for all this very expensive and unpopular law.
All right, well, yeah, it's unpopular. I'll tell you why it's unpopular, because the medical device people have lobbyists here, and, you know, the individual doesn't have a lobbyist, but the medical device people, they got lobbyists to come here and to pound the pavement in the House and the Senate, and a lot of even the Democrats who voted for it in the beginning because they didn't read the bill, they suddenly learned that their constituents are these medical device makers, so suddenly they don't like it. So it looks like someone's getting, it looks almost rigged. They're getting the deal.
Well, I think very few people, I read the law, as you know, before it was passed. Very few people did. It's a tax actually on sales rather than on profits, and it's driving businesses and jobs overseas, and that's the real problem with it.
But they're getting the extra consideration. You know, maybe it's a bad idea. I don't know if it's a bad idea, a bad tax or not, but the problem is the unions have special access to the government, the big business have access to the government, and so do the medical device people. And
there's 20 taxes as part of this health care law, and I think all of them are bad ideas. But that's the only way the president can say that he's actually paying for this health care law. In addition, that a lot of Americans are going to be paying a lot more for insurance. They're getting that now with sticker shock. Let's look at what the president said. He said, first of all, you could keep what you have. If you like your dog, you can keep him. He said easier to use than Amazon.com. That's not the case at all. And he said cheaper than a cell phone bill.
Quickly, did the Senate Republicans say anything about the House Republicans to the president?
Well, the House Republicans are working on a proposal to get the government open, and we are too.
Did you gossip about the House Republicans to the president?
No.
We
said, Mr. President, we need to get the government open again. We need to get America back to business, and we need to deal with the long-term debt. The president is focused on this, you know, on this raising the debt ceiling.
Did the House Republicans come up at all in the discussion?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Never mentioned.
We want to make sure that we can get something that actually can pass the House, pass the Senate, get signed by the president. That's the key to getting the government open. And when the president, tomorrow we're going to vote Saturday in the Senate on raising the debt ceiling. Harry Reid's bringing a raise the debt ceiling by $1 trillion, $1 million a minute between now and December of 2014. That's irresponsible unless you get the spending under control.
We got to go. Nice to see you, Senator.
Thanks for having me.